Hello, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing leaf structure. This is basically the continuation of the plants chapter. पहले हमने पढ़ा था photosynthesis and now we're going to be doing leaf structure. Basically leaf में जो photosynthesis हो रहा होता है उसके बारे में भी तो हमें पढ़ना होता है कि उसका structure क्या है, उसमें क्या क्या चीज़ें हो रही होती हैं. So this is what we're going to be doing today. You're watching BWA Biology with Vanas. And if you enjoy the video and understand the concepts, please do like, share and subscribe. Alright, now let's get into it. Leaf structure. आज के focus points क्या होंगे, main चीज़ें आज क्या होंगे हमें पढ़ने के लिए. How are the features of the leaves adapted for photosynthesis? Like leaf structure में कौन कौन से ऐसे cells हैं जो photosynthesis में help करवाते हैं. What is the structure of the leaf? How are the leaf structures adapted for photosynthesis? Like time to time, depending on different conditions, how does the leaf adapt itself to doing photosynthesis? The relationship between the leaf and the rest of the plant is described in chapter 7. A broad-leaf plant has a leaf structure like one shown in figure 6.17a and b, shows a transverse section through the leaf. यहाँ ये picture एक दिखाई हुई है leaf की picture. Main जो leaf की labeling है ना, one is the lamina, which is the green colored portion of the leaf, right? One is the midrib. As you can see, midrib is the continuation of the leaf stalk. You just, for example, we have a stem of the leaf which is coming up, and then that continues as the leaf stalk, and this leaf stalk continues as the midrib. So, and then this midrib gives different branches which we call the vein. Alright, main ये चीज़ें आपको याद करनी है कि जो green colored portion है that's called the lamina. जो स्टेम की जो कंटिन्यूएशन होती है वो होती है लीफ स्टॉक, एंड जो लीफ स्टॉक की कंटिन्यूएशन आगे जाके वो बनती है मेड्रिब, राइट? एंड मेड्रिब की जो ब्रांचेस निकलती हैं दे लेटर फॉर्म द वेन्स. एज यू कैन सी हियर इज वन वेन, हियर इज टू. सो एंड हियर एज देयर इज अनदर ट्रांसवर्स सेक्शन इन्होंने हमें दिखाया हुआ है. यहाँ बीच में मेड्रिब है, ये जो वेन्स फिर बाद में जो ब्रांचेस देती हैं ये रही वेन्स. And yeah, so these are the main things, and here they have shown like a cross section of it. We will get into that in a bit. All right, so they have shown a transverse section of the leaf. It is attached to the stem by leaf stalk. जो stem की जो continuation है ना वो leaf stalk है basically. When this goes into leaf, it is called the midrib. A network of veins branches from the midrib. The veins bring water and mineral ions into the leaf and carry away the food made by them, right? तो इनका बेसिक फंक्शन है एज लाइक अ ट्रांसपोर्ट एरिया. जैसे आप इनको जैसे समझें जैसे these are pipes which bring in like water and minerals. These bring in water and minerals, right? And these take away, यहाँ से they take away all the carbohydrates and all the energy compounds that they have, all the food that they made. जो हमने पिछले चैप्टर में पढ़ा था, हमने पढ़ा था कि जो लीफ है ना, लीफ में होती है फोटोसिंथेसिस. फोटोसिंथेसिस से बनते हैं ये फूड कंपाउंड्स लाइक ग्लूकोज एंड ऑक्सीजन वगैरह. तो यही जो ग्लूकोज फूड कंपाउंड है, देन दीज लेटर आर ट्रांसपोर्टेड टू अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द प्लांट, राइट? सो ये जो हमारे पास लीफ स्टॉक है, मेड्रिब हो गया, फिर मेड्रिब के आगे जो ब्रांचेस है वेन्स हो गए. दीज आर बेसिकली सॉर्ट ऑफ चैनल्स और टनल्स और पाइप्स जिसके थ्रू ये सारी चीज़ें ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रही हैं, ओके? As well as carrying food and water, the network of veins make a kind of skeleton that supports the softer tissue of the leaf. तो ये जो veins है ना, veins के function एक तो transport का हो गया, water and food, and उनका second function ये भी है कि they also provide support. They also provide support to the leaf. The leaf blade or the lamina is a broad, a vertical section through the small part of the leaf blade is shown. तो यही leaf blade है जो ये रहा. As you can see, it's also shaped like a blade. So this green portion, this is basically called the leaf blade, or you could say the lamina. Now adaptation leaves for photosynthesis. How does the leaves adapt for photosynthesis? When biologists say that something is adapted, they mean that the structure is well situated to its job. Although there are many types of leaf shape, and following statements apply to most leaves and are shown in 6.17b and c. their broad flat shape gives, now they're gonna be basically pointing out कि उसका जो shape है, जो structure है, how is it compatible with photosynthesis, how does that help in photosynthesis. जैसे हमने सबसे पहले चैप्टर में पढ़ा था, जो रूट हेयर सेल था, it had a lot of surface area which helped in absorption of ions, right? So it was made for that function. Just like that, we want to see how is leaf का जो shape है, structure है, how is that suitable for the function of photosynthesis. Now, firstly, their broad flat shape gives large surface area for the absorption of sunlight and carbon dioxide. As we remember that the sunlight enters into the leaf and so does the carbon dioxide enter into the leaf, right? So इसका जो बहुत ज़्यादा flat surface ये देता है, broad flat surface, it helps in giving a larger surface area for these things to be absorbed, जिसकी वजह से photosynthesis is enhanced. Number 2, most leaves are thin, so carbon dioxide only needs to diffuse across a short distance to reach inner cells. हमने जो diffusion के chapter में पढ़ा था, things that increase and decrease diffusion, one of them was the thickness of the layers that the molecules have to diffuse through. अगर जो layer है वो इतनी thick हो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के निकलने की, फॉर द कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू बी ट्रांसपोर्टेड थ्रू, इट विल टेक मोर टाइम कंपेयर टू अगर एक छोटी सी इतनी लेयर हो तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जल्दी से गुजर जाएगा इस लेयर के थ्रू, राइट? सो व्हाट देयर पॉइंटिंग आउट इज द लीव्स आर थिन होने की वजह से जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है ना, दे क्विकली एंड ईजिली एंटर इनटू द लीव्स. दिस ऑल्सो हेल्प्स in enhancing or increasing the rate of photosynthesis, right? तो एक पॉइंट तो ये हो गया कि जो उसका लीफ का स्ट्रक्चर है वो उसमें लार्ज सरफेस एरिया विच हेल्प्स इन अब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ सनलाइट एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, एक ये पॉइंट हो गया. नंबर 2 पॉइंट हो गया कि जो लीफ जो है ना वो थिन है, राइट? उसका स्ट्रक्चर इतना थिन है, जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है दे कैन ईजिली डिफ्यूज थ्रू, बिकॉज उनको एक सिर्फ शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करना पड़ता है. ऑलराइट, एंड नाउ दे हैव गिवन हियर ए क्रॉस सेक्शन के लीफ के, ये इसी का एक क्रॉस सेक्शन दिया है कि अगर हम क्रॉस सेक्शन लेते हैं तो व्हाट वुड इट लुक लाइक. एज यू कैन सी जो मेड्रिब है, यही सेम मेड्रिब यहाँ, ये देखें, दिस इज़ द मेड्रिब, राइट? यहाँ जो इसके एक्सटेंशंस हैं, एज यू कैन सी हियर आर द एक्सटेंशंस, एंड ये जो ये ऑरेंज चीज, दिस इज द वेन, दिस इज द वेन, राइट? we're gonna get into the exact labelings of this diagram. आगे ये लोग explain भी करेंगे, but first let's look at what they're saying here. Parts of the leaf and their function. Figure 6.18 here, a photograph of the leaf section under the microscope. This is a microscopic image of the leaf section of this leaf over here. Let me just clear this out for you. Yes, of this leaf over here. इसका एक micro section दिखाया हुआ है. Now, one part of the leaf is called the epidermis. अब epidermis है क्या? The epidermis is a single layer of cell on the upper and lower surface of the leaf. तो ऊपर भी है और नीचे भी है ये epidermis. This is a very thin waxy layer called the cuticle over the epidermis. तो epidermis के ऊपर एक layer होती है, it's called the cuticle. As you can see over here, ये let me show here you go. ये epidermis के ऊपर एक जो layer आपको दिख रही है ना, thin सी layer, this is called the cuticle. Here is the upper epidermis and नीचे अब जब जाएंगे यहाँ आपको एक lower epidermis भी मिल गई. तो इन epidermis के जो ऊपर है ना, there is the thin layer called the cuticle. अब चलो ये cuticle है क्या and what's its function? Let's look into it. The epidermis helps to keep the leaf shape. तो number 1 epidermis का क्या function है? It helps in keeping the leaf shape. The closely fitting cells reduce evaporation from the leaf and prevent bacteria and fungi from getting in. तो एक तो पॉइंट हो गया कि उसको लीफ को स्ट्रक्चर एंड सपोर्ट देते हैं. नंबर 2, बिकॉज ये जो एपिडर्मिस सेल्स हैं, इफ़ यू लुक, देर सो पैक्ड टुगेदर, कोई इनके अंदर स्पेसेस नहीं है, जिसकी वजह से it prevents water loss, any sort of like water loss, like it reduces evaporation, unnecessary water loss इसको prevent करता है. And secondly, जो बाहर के bacteria, fungi, जो other अलग अलग चीज़ है ना, वो उन foreign particles को अंदर आने से prevent करता है, right? So these are the two basic functions of the epidermis. Now the cuticle is a waxy layer lying over the epidermis that helps to reduce water loss. It is produced by the epidermal cells. तो यही जो एपिडर्मल सेल्स है ना ओवर हियर, यही एपिडर्मल सेल्स इसके जो ऊपर की क्यूटिकल लेयर यहाँ जो चल रही है, these epidermal cells produce this layer, right? And what's the main function of this layer? This layer is waxy, and because it's waxy, it helps in reducing water loss. It prevents water loss, right? तो इसका ये मेन फंक्शन है कि it helps in reducing water loss, and it is produced by these epidermal cells. Now stomata and guard cells, there are structures in the leaf epidermis called stomata. Singular इसका stoma होता है, जब दो होते हैं तो stomata हम कहते हैं. A stoma consists of a pore enclosed by two guard cells, right? तो बेसिकली जो एक होल या पोर बनता है एक दो गार्ड सेल्स के बीच में, उसको हम स्टोमा कहते हैं. एंड ऑफकोर्स लीफ में मल्टीपल पोर्स होंगे बिटवीन गार्ड सेल्स, तो कलेक्टिवली उनको स्टोमेटा बोलते हैं. हियर एज यू कैन सी ओवर हियर इज एन एग्जांपल. हियर आर द टू गार्ड सेल, लेट मी जस्ट मार्क इट फॉर यू. ये रहा एक गार्ड सेल और इसी के पैरेलल ये रहा दूसरा गार्ड सेल. अब इन दोनों गार्ड सेल के बीच में इफ़ यू कैन सी देयर इज़ दिस ओपनिंग. ये जो ओपनिंग है ना, इस ओपनिंग को कहते हैं स्टोमा. और ये दिस इज द लेबलिंग फॉर द गार्ड सेल, राइट? तो स्टोमा इज द ओपनिंग बिटवीन द टू गार्ड सेल्स. As you can see, here is the stoma opening between the two guard cells, and the guard cell is what surround the stoma, and basically the stoma is surrounded by two guard cells. Okay. In most dicotyledons, the broadleaf plants, the stomata are only present in lower epidermis. ज़्यादातर ये सिर्फ lower epidermis में present होता है. As you इस diagram में भी दिखाया गया है. As you can see, lower epidermis की layer में ये होते हैं, not in the upper epidermis. Most of the times, right? However, the stomata in monocotyledons, that is narrow leaf plants like grasses, are equally spread. तो जो dicotyledons हैं, right, उनमें mostly are present in the lower epidermis. However, जो monocotyledons हैं, they're present equally in the lower epidermis and in the upper epidermis. So that's something you need to know. Okay, here's another section, transfer section to the leaf. As we can see, I want to also go through a few labelings over here in this diagram. Upper epidermis देख लिया, cuticle देख लिया, this is the layer covering the upper epidermis. Here you can see the lower epidermis, there's the guard cell, the vein. See over here the vein, which is bringing in the nutrients or the water, the phloem sieve tubes. We will also get into what this phloem sieve tubes is. We'll get into what exxylem vessel, as you can see over here, this exxylem vessel is. We'll also get into what these two things are. So yeah, okay, moving on. The shape of the guard cells will change when the pressure of water in them changes. So basically जो guard cells है ना over here, this is also an image over here, these guard cells, they change shape whether अगर पानी इनमें ज़्यादा होगा, more water is there, of course ये फूल जाएंगे, they will swell up, they will become turgid, and if there is less water in them, they become flaccid. So depending on the water content, their shape changes. When their shape changes, the stomatal pore can open or close. तो उनके shape जब change होते हैं, so सिर्फ पानी, उनका पानी कंटेंट की वजह से उनका सिर्फ शेप चेंज नहीं होता, जो पोर है जिसको वो सराउंड करते हैं, जो स्टोमा है, उसका भी ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग कंट्रोल हो रही होती है. तो यूजुअली स्टोमेटा आर ओपन इन डे लाइट बट क्लोज्ड फॉर द मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम व्हेन इट्स डार्क. तो डे लाइट में जो स्टोमा है दैट्स ओपन, बट एट डार्क एट नाइट इट्स क्लोज्ड. नाउ इसका रीज़न क्या है? However, the pattern of opening and closing depends on the plant's species, allowing carbon dioxide and oxygen to be exchanged of the air outside. The leaf needs source of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Basically, now you will ask, what is the function of stoma? What is the function of these guard cells? Basically, this stoma is an opening through which gases exchange takes place. For photosynthesis, carbon dioxide enters into the cells, and once photosynthesis is complete, oxygen can leave and enter into the outside environment, into the air. So this is basically a passage, a hole, a pore through which gaseous exchange takes place, right? इसका basically main function ही ये है. So as you can see, the leaf needs source of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. If the stomata close, the carbon dioxide supply of the leaf is almost cut off, क्योंकि यहीं से carbon dioxide leaf के अंदर enter हो रहा होता है. तो अगर यही बंद हो गया तो of course photosynthesis नहीं हो, and photosynthesis stop. Photosynthesis नहीं होगी, carbon dioxide नहीं है तो photosynthesis भी नहीं होगी. However, the stomata are closed in many species during darkness when photosynthesis is not taking place. So basically, ये stomata they close at time of darkness, as we already described up here. So stomata allows carbon dioxide into the leaf when photosynthesis is taking place and prevents too much loss of water vapor. तो ये stomata है ना in the pore. Let me just draw it here. Like let's suppose this is let's suppose this is one guard cell and this is another guard cell. Now this opening over here is called the stoma, right? It's called the stoma. This opening closes when it's dark, and it opens in daylight, right? Now what they said here is okay, it's not just carbon dioxide or gaseous exchange taking place, also water vapors as well, right? Water vapors, when water evaporates, वो यहीं से वो water vapors evaporate करते हैं from the same pore. So it's a site of it's a site for gaseous exchange, number one, and it's also where water vapors evaporate from, right? तो ये दो चीज़ें हैं. Okay, and yeah. So stomata allows carbon dioxide into the leaf when photosynthesis is taking place and prevents too much loss of water vapor and translocation in chapter whatever when photosynthesis stops. Scientists do not know exactly how the stomata opens and closes. It's not like completely identified reason ke, but what they do think is, however, they do know that in the light the potassium concentration in the guard cell vacuole increases. So the potassium concentration it increases during daylight. This makes the cell sap more concentrated, so water enters the guard cell by osmosis. Of course, जब concentration increase हो जाती है guard cells के अंदर because increase in potassium ions, उसकी वजह से water will move from higher concentration to lower concentration, which means they will move into the guard cells, from the epidermal cells into the guard cells. This flow of water into the cells increases the pressure water inside the guard cells. The cell wall next to the stomatopore is thicker and the other places in the cell wall is more stiff. So although the increased pressure of the water makes the whole guard cell bigger, the thicker inner wall cannot expand. This causes the guard cell to curve and the stomatopore opens. I think they have shown an image here. Look, this is at the time where in daylight when potassium increases, जिसकी वजह से concentration increase करती है, जिसकी वजह से with the help of osmosis water moves into the guard cell, right? Because of which the guard cells swell up and become turgid. Now one thing you need to know, there's something they stated here was कि जो outer lining of the guard cell है ना, this is able to expand and get thicker, right? However, जो inner lining है, this is unable to expand. So the thing is if the inner lining of the guard cell was also able to get thick just like the outer lining, this pore would have closed up. But since only the outer wall of the guard cell gets thick, hence it makes the guard cell move outwards and hence opens up this pore. So that's the logic behind how the pore opens up in the daylight, and because of which जब pore खुल गया तो इसके through carbon dioxide जा सकता है, इससे oxygen निकल सकता है, and even water vapors can leave from here. So that's the basic phenomena or the explanation. Now what about in the opposite case? When potassium ions leave the guard cell, जब कम हो जाते हैं potassium ions, right? When potassium ions decrease, the concentration of the cell sap goes down and water passes out of the cell by osmosis. Same process, osmosis से वो फिर अब guard cell से बाहर निकल जाते हैं. इसकी वजह से जो pressure है, the pressure of water in the cell goes down and the guard cells straighten up, closing the stomata. As you can see, now they have straightened up and hence they have closed the stomata. However, इस situation में they had expanded outwards and hence they opened the stomata up. This is the logic. So main 2 or 3 things that are playing a role in opening and closing the stomata is like the potassium ions. Is because of potassium concentration is changing, and hence because of that water is moving into and out of the cell, and because of that it's making the cell swell up or straightening the cell, because of which the pore either closes and opens up, right? I hope that's clear. Scientists are still studying where the potassium ions comes from and what makes them move into the guard cell, right? Right now you don't need to know what the reason is why the potassium is moving in or leaving the cell. Not important as of now. What you just need to know is what are the factors that are playing a role in this. You can see from figure 6.20 and 6.21 that the guard cells are only in the epidermal cells. 6.20 and 21, yeah, over here, as you can see, they're only present in the epidermal cells, right? Over here, look, they're only surrounded by epidermal cells. And as we discussed earlier up here, in the dicotyledons, they're only in the lower epidermis, whereas in the monocotyledons, they're present both in the lower and upper epidermis, almost equally, right? Now moving on. Yeah, only epidermis containing chloroplast. Another function of this guard cell is that they contain chloroplast, so they can also perform somewhat photosynthesis. Scientists thought that the chloroplast built up glucose by photosynthesis during daylight, and that the glucose made the cells have more concentrated, so the pressure increased inside the cell. However, not much photosynthesis happens. You might think कि chloroplast यहाँ इसका मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा photosynthesis guard cells में हो रही होगी, लेकिन that's not the truth. That's far from the truth. The truth is कि बहुत कम photosynthesis होती है, and this is not the reason of the increase in concentration. The reason is, as we discussed earlier, the reason of increased concentration is increase in potassium ion. Okay. However, not much photosynthesis happens in these chloroplasts. We are not sure what their job is, though we do know that starch builds up in them during the night. In some species of the plants, the guard cells have no chloroplast at all. तो बहुत बड़ा मेन फंक्शन नहीं है. You could remember that starch does build up inside the guard cells because of presence of chloroplast, right? Moving on, another cell which is called the mesophyll cells. अभी mesophyll cell क्या है? The tissue between the upper and lower epidermis, right? Let me just show you over here. Here, ये आपके पास अपर एपिडर्मिस ये रहा, लोअर एपिडर्मिस ये रहा, इनके बीच में ये जो ये सारे टिश्यूज हैं, ये सारे cells, and these are called the mesophils. And as you can see, they're divided into 2 categories, the palisade mesophyll and the spongy mesophyll, right? This is also because depending on their structure, कि किस तरीके का structure उनके पास है. Okay. Alright, so the tissue between the upper and lower epidermis is called mesophyll. It is made up of 2 areas, the upper, which is called the palisade mesophyll, and the lower, which is called the spongy. तो जो ऊपर वाला है, जो upper है, that's called the palisade mesophyll, and जो lower वाले हैं उसके नीचे, that's called the spongy mesophyll, right? The palisade cells are usually long. They contain many chloroplasts in the cytoplasm. Chloroplasts are green organelles. Okay, they're finally talking about what chloroplasts are. They're green organelles because they contain the pigment chlorophyll, right? We already discussed this multiple times in the previous chapters. Chloroplasts have green pigments called chlorophyll, which help in absorption of sunlight for photosynthesis. Now, the spongy mesophyll, on the other hand, they have different shapes and fit loosely together. So, जो palisade था, they were long. They were they're mostly compact, whereas जो spongy हैं, they're fit loosely together. उनके नाम से भी आपको पता चला है spongy and they're like loose, right? This leaves many air spaces. Since they're loosely and they're not packed together, this leaves air spaces between them. They also contain chloroplast. Just like palisade mesophills, they also contain chloroplast. The job of palisade cells is to make food by photosynthesis. The spongy mesophills cells also do this, but एक difference है, but they contain less chloroplast. तो जो spongy mesophills हैं, let me just go up to this diagram over here. This is a good diagram. Let me just show you. As they described earlier now, see, as you can see, the palisade mesophils are long, cylindrical, not cylindrical, I would just say long in shape, and they're comparatively more packed together with each other. As you can see, they're very close to one another. However, the spongy, they're very loose fitted. Look, as you can see, there's this gap over here. There are gaps between these spongy mesophyll cells. See, air spaces, air spaces, right? One more thing you will notice is that chloroplast. Palisade mesophyll में, as you can see, there's so many chloroplasts present. However, spongy में आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 3-4 ही देख रहे हैं, तो ये भी एक फ़र्क है. तो इससे क्या पता चल रहा है? इससे ये पता चल रहा है कि जो पैलेसाइड मेसोफिल है उसमें फोटोसिंथेसिस ज़्यादा होती है कंपेयर टू स्पॉन्जी मेसोफिल्स, राइट? तो ये हो गया. ओके, here. So their जो spongy mesophils हैं, their chloroplast absorb sunlight and use its energy to join carbon dioxide and water molecules, basically photosynthesis करवाते हैं. This makes glucose molecules as described earlier in this chapter. In daylight, when photosynthesis is fast, the mesophyll cells are using up carbon dioxide, so the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air spaces goes down because all the carbon dioxide is being inside the cell, not outside. More carbon dioxide diffuses in from the outside air. Through the stomata, right? Of course, as I said, stomata is a passage, is a way through which gases exchange takes place. The carbon dioxide then diffuses through the air spaces up to the cells which are using the carbon dioxide. These cells are also producing oxygen, produced during photosynthesis. So basically, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड पहले स्टोमेटा के थ्रू एंटर करता है एंड देन इट एंटर्स द एयर स्पेसेस बिटवीन द स्पॉन्जी मेसोफिल सेल्स एंड देन इट कुड एंटर इनटू द पैलेसाइड सेल्स और द स्पॉन्जी सेल्स डिपेंडिंग वेयर इट वांट्स टू गो फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस. अब जो ऑक्सीजन भी हमारे पास प्रोड्यूस होता है, राइट? फोटोसिंथेसिस का प्रोडक्ट जो होता है ऑक्सीजन, producing oxygen during photosynthesis. When the concentration of oxygen in the air spaces rise, it diffuses out of the stomata. अब जो air spaces हैं between the spongy mesophyll cells, जब उसमें oxygen ज़्यादा होना शुरू हो जाता है, उसकी वजह से oxygen passes through the stomata then into the environment. बाहर air में आ जाता है, basically environment में आ जाता है. Now ये जो air spaces हम बात कर रहे थे जिसके थ्रू ऑक्सीजन जा रहा है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जा रहा है, बेसिकली दीज एयर स्पेसेस आर प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द मेसोफिल सेल्स, स्पेसिफिकली द स्पॉन्जी मेसोफिल सेल्स. The large spaces between the spongy mesophyll cells inside the leaf makes it easy for the carbon dioxide to diffuse. Water vapor goes into the air spaces, evaporated from the surface of the cells around them. This is part of the process of transpiration. आगे हम ट्रांसपायरेशन भी पढ़ेंगे, ट्रांसपायरेशन होती क्या है. But basically at times when the plant has too much water and it wants to evaporate the water, just like हमारी जो body है, human की body में, जब हम we need like a cooling effect or we need to evaporate water from our bodies, what happens? Sweating होती है ना, पानी निकल जाता है body से. वैसे ही this is one way how plants lose their water through water vapors in gaseous form, and this water vapor is also passes through the air spaces, right, at the time of transpiration. Okay. Okay, vascular bundles. अब हम इतनी बात कर रहे थे कि things that come like food content, water content, mineral ions, these all are being transported through the stem of the plant. Then they enter into the let me just show you ताकि आपकी understanding बेहतर हो जाए. Look here, they enter first into the stem. As you can see, ये stem, let's suppose water is moving here. Water is moving into from the stem, then it enters into the leaf stalk and then enters into the midrib and then enters each part of the leaf with the help of veins, right? But what is present inside of these veins, midrib, leaf stalk, जिसकी help से these water molecules or you could say even mineral ions are passing through? ये कौन से pipes हैं, कौन से transport system बने हुए हैं? जैसे in our body, the blood is transported through arteries, veins and capillaries. So what is the transport system in the plants? Let's get into that. What is the vascular system in the plants, right? Vascular bundles in the plants, right? The main vein of the leaf is called the midrib, right? As we said, other vein branch off this and make a network through the leaf. Vascular bundles are made of दो main vascular bundles हैं. They're made up of two different tissues. They're called xylem and they're called phloem. These are the main. जैसे हमारे body में, human bodies में, there are three main uh, vascular bundles, right? There's the arteries, there are the vein, and there are the capillaries, right? There are the capillaries. Just like that, the main vascular bundles present in the plant, in the leaf, are the xylem and there's the phloem. Okay, अब इनके function क्या है, ये क्या क्या करवाते हैं? Let's get into that. The xylem vessels are long, thin tubules with no cell content. कोई इसमें cell contents होते नहीं है. It's just a simple tube-like structure, right? When mature, cytoplasm, nucleus or sap vacuole, right? तो इसमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियस होता है, सैप वैक्यूल, साइटोप्लाज्म होता है. इसके अलावा इन सेल्स में कोई उससे ज़्यादा कंटेंट्स होते नहीं है, राइट? दे हैव थिकन्ड सेल वॉल्स कंटेनिंग मटेरियल कॉल्ड लिग्निन. दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सवालों में आता है, दे आस्क के what is the cell wall of the xylem made up of? So the cell wall of the xylem is made up of lignin. This can make distinct patterns of xylem vessel walls. For example, spiral. Xylem carries, अब xylem carry क्या करता है? इतना हम कह रहे थे vascular bundle and all that stuff. What does xylem carry? Xylem carries water and salts. These are the main two things xylem carries. It carries water and salts to the cell in the leaf. तो जो water नीचे roots से absorb हो रहा होता है, it goes up the stem and with the help of xylem it is transported to the leaf. The phloem. अब phloem क्या करता है? The phloem is made of sieve tubes. The ends of each long, thin cells have small holes in, making sieve plates. So basically, I don't know if they have shown an example of what xylem looks like. Let me just find. I don't think they have given an example over here, but basically, मैं आपको एक diagram दिखा देता हूँ. For example, this is a simple xylem, right? A hollow tube. The difference between xylem and phloem, main thing is that there are like plates present in the in the phloem, and as you can see, through these plates passes through the substance which is present in the phloem, right? So in the xylem, it's like a hollow tube. It's empty. जो content है वो सीधा गुजर जाता है. Whereas phloem have these phloem sieve plates, जिसके through the content passes through, right? All right. So as we said, the phloem is made up of sieve tubes. The end of each long thin cells have small holes. In holes के through ये गुजर रहे होते हैं चीज़ें, making sieve plates. The cells are also different from xylem because they keep their contents. तो phloem के अंदर contents भी present होते हैं, unlike xylem. Xylem is pretty much empty. The water needed for making glucose by photosynthesis is transported to the mesophyll cells by the veins. तो वही जो photosynthesis के time glucose बनाना होता है, right? Photosynthesis में what do you need? You need carbon dioxide, you need water. अब जो ये water नीचे से ऊपर आ रहा है, that comes with the help of xylem. Now the mesophyll cells take in the water by osmosis because this concentration of free water molecules in the leaf which contains glucose. Of course, जो cells हैं उनमें glucose होगा जिसकी वजह से concentration cell के अंदर ज़्यादा होगी, and because of which the water is going to move from outside to inside the cell, from higher concentration to lower concentration with the help of osmosis, will be less than the concentration of water in the water vessels of a vein. The branching of network of veins gives a good water supply to the photosynthesizing cells. All the leaf cells are near water carrying vessels of these veins. तो जो भी सारे cells हैं ना which need this water, they're always close by the veins, right? Which are the branches of midrib. अब the sugar made, अब जो sugar बन गया है with the help of photosynthesis, वो उसका क्या होगा? The sugar made in the mesophyll cells are passed to the phloem cells. अभी जो phloem cells leaf से लेके जाएंगे ये sugars को, it's going to the phloem cells carry the sugar and the other food substances like amino acids away from the leaf and into the stem to other parts of the plant. This process called translocation, right? So basically, number one, जो water which is traveling up the stem into the leaf is with the help of xylem. for photosynthesis, and the product which is formed by photosynthesis is sugars like glucose. अब ये जो sugars like glucose हैं, energy forms the food of the plant. Now of course ये सिर्फ leaf में नहीं होगा ना, the other parts of the plants also need this food. So this food is transported with the help of phloem, and this transport is called translocation. Okay, distribution of chloroplast. There are more chloroplasts in the upper palisade mesophyll, as we just discussed, compared to the spongy mesophills, right? Cells then in the lower spongy mesophills. The palisade cells are near this upper surface, so they get most sunlight. Of course जो ऊपर वाली layer होगी उसको ज़्यादा sunlight पड़ेगी compared to जो नीचे वाली layer है, right? तो it just makes more sense कि जिस पे ज़्यादा sunlight पड़ रही है उसके पास ज़्यादा chloroplast होने चाहिए for photosynthesis. This will reach the chloroplast without being absorbed by many cell walls. There are also some chloroplasts in the guard cells. Other epidermal cells do not have chloroplasts. So, जो epidermal cells है ना, they do not have chloroplasts. Only guard cells have chloroplasts. Spongy mesophills have chloroplasts. Palisade has chloroplasts. But you need to know palisade mesophills have more chloroplasts in number compared to spongy mesophill cells. One of the reason is palisade is in the upper layer. Upper layer में sunlight ज़्यादा पड़ रही है, right? Photosynthesis takes place mainly in leaves, but any part of the plant that contains chlorophyll, for example green stems, can photosynthesize. तो दूसरे parts भी कर सकते हैं जहाँ chloroplast present होता है, लेकिन mainly leaves में होता है. Now this is a good summarized table that we will go through. Okay, so let's get like a quick review of this table. Number 1, cuticle. हमने cuticle का क्या पढ़ा था? Firstly, it's produced by the upper epidermal cells, and it's like a waxy layer, right? So it's made up of wax. It's waterproofing because it prevents water loss, and it is secreted by the cells of the upper epidermis. So number 1, upper epidermis से produce होता है. It's made up of wax and it's waterproofing. It helps in water loss. All right. Upper epidermis. These cells are thin, transparent to allow light to pass through. No chloroplasts are present here. They act as a barrier to disease and organism. As we learned previously, since they're pretty thin, this helps in carbon dioxide diffusion into the cells easily. Second, they act as a barrier for diseases like bacteria and fungi, right? Now, palisade mesophyll cells. The main reason for photosynthesis, like they can ask you a question: which cells are the main cells which which perform photosynthesis, right? They're the palisade mesophyll cells. Their cells are columnar. Now what does columnar means, right? Columnar means basically like a column which is long and tall, like a tall and long column, right? So they're columnar, quite long, and packed with chloroplast. They're packed with chloroplast. Of course, that's one of the reasons why. They're the main reason for photosynthesis. They're packed with chloroplast which trap light. They receive carbon dioxide by diffusion from the air spaces in the spongy mesophyll cells, right? Pretty easy. Spongy mesophyll cells, these cells are more spherical, loosely packed. They contain chloroplasts, but not as many as palisade mesophyll cells. Air spaces between the cells allow gaseous exchange, carbon dioxide to the cell and oxygen from the cell. Because carbon dioxide to the cell, why? Because for the use of photosynthesis, and oxygen from the cell because it's the product of photosynthesis, right? From the cell during the photosynthesis. Perfect. Vascular bundles. Now हमने पढ़े थे दो main vascular bundles हैं, which are xylem and phloem. This is a leaf vein made up of xylem and phloem. Xylem vessels bring water and minerals to the leaf, whereas जो phloem है, phloem vessels transport sugars and amino acids away. This is called translocation. And translocation, we are referring to phloem vessels transporting sugars from the leaf to other areas. This is only specifically for phloem, right? Translocation. Okay, lower epidermis. This acts as a protective layer. Stomata are present to regulate loss of water vapor. This is called transpiration. When there is loss of water vapor through the stomata, this process is called transpiration. It is the site of gaseous exchange in and out of the cell. जो stomata था, as we know, it's a pore, it's a site of gaseous exchange, and it's also a place where water vapors can be lost from. So now what is stomata, which is basically the opening, right? Each stoma is surrounded by a pair of guard cells. These can control whether the stoma is open or closed, right? So guard cells are the operators which operate कि बंद करेंगे opening या खोले रखेंगे. Water vapors pass out during transpiration. Carbon dioxide diffuse in and out, and oxygen diffuses out during photosynthesis.